what would you say to a woman who is interested, whose heart is open? She is an accomplished, confident, and a highly competent woman who has something to do in the world, but she's not really stepping forward. Something's holding her back, and her heart is saying to her, come out and check out this body of work, or come to this live workshop. Stella, what would you tell her?
Well, I'd say always, if ever the body's urging you to do something, to listen to it and go forward. I don't think we always know why. I don't think we always know, we're so in our heads sometimes that we want to look at the logic and everything else around why we're being asked to, or urged to step forward. But as we all know, it's like it's coming from here. And if the body's actually saying, come on, let's go and explore, absolutely. Without hesitation, just do it.
It's so great. I would say give yourself the gift. It's never going to be the right time. You're never going to have the money. Some emotion, some thoughts going to always tuck you out of it. When I did it, I was in a wheelchair. I couldn't even sit for 2 or 3 hours. I had to go lay down in bed. But I was being nudged by my body, just like Stella said. And if you really want to move through something and you've tried so many different things and nothing's worked, then do this, because I promise you have not tried this. And it got down to my very toes of emotion and patterns that were in me that I didn't even know were there. And my nervous system has changed. There's just a calmness to me. There is, I can look at trauma that happened to me and not have any emotion overcome me and run me. And there's a freedom to what I want to say and who I want to be that I thought I had, but I really didn't.
I love that word. And I love what you're saying there around freedom, right? I feel like that's, if there's a gift inside of, what I'm here to bring women, it is to help us just to let go of everything that's blocking us. And this body of work works strongly with the body. Obviously it works with other elements, but letting go to have the freedom to be who we are, it just feels, that's it. That's what we want. That's what we're longing for. I'm so curious how it's playing out for you now. How's it playing out for you after coming through the process? What are you noticing that's different, or what are other people noticing about you? That's often where we see it, is in the space of other people reflecting.
Go ahead, Stella.
Oh, do you want me to go? So how is it playing out? Well, I think with me, it's I see it sort of more in. I work with large groups on an energetic level, and it's that ability to really sort of just the capacity with which to hold that group and to hold them in safety and allow them the process that they need to go through without it being a drain on me in any way whatsoever. It's just the expansion of that field as well. And interestingly, the amount of I've been doing some deep work for a number of years, to be honest, quite a number of years. But women have always felt that, I was the teacher and they were the attendees or that sort of thing. Yeah. And what I have found is that there's no, when it's appropriate, when to share what needs to be shared in order to allow them to experience, from your own point of view. You can share a story in such a way that it's not going to be triggering, it's not going to be any of those things because of the way we've been taught to put those stories together. And it's a gift. It's a gift to the other women because it allows them to do the same thing. It allows them to see you and to acknowledge that they too have had that feeling without sort of feeling isolated or alone. So that's one of the biggest things I probably noticed. And women reflecting back to me that, oh my gosh, you're normally so private. It's those sorts of things, which I hadn't realised. It's not a conscious thing that I'd done. It's just sort of it's just the way that I had approached the groups previously, you know, so it's interesting and ever evolving, you know.
Yeah, beautiful. So interesting, because I always was told I was very private as well. What I find though is like inside of this freedom in our body and our voice and in who we are, we're just so much more, there's much more room for people to come towards us, and it feels natural. It doesn't and that there's nothing wrong with being private, right? But I feel like it can be a little bit of a habit that we don't, we're sort of teachery is what you're saying. Anyway, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I didn't even realize it was the case until they actually sort of said, "Oh,
right."
And you're like, really? You know? So you're always growing in self-awareness, and you know it's all about growing all the time, isn't it? And being open to that reflection. But that's, you know, that feedback. But yeah, it's been really, really interesting. It's like you're getting to know yourself, isn't it? You get to know things about yourself that only other people can show you.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, to allow that to happen.
Janet, how about you?
Well, there's two areas. One is actually in my relationship with my husband. So I've been married almost 27 years now. And there's space for us to boldly go into conversations we've had around money and finances and intimacy for 26 years in our relationship. You know, we get in patterns, and we are every Saturday having what we call a Team Ray winning conversation. And we're taking notes on it where we are, right? Like, and we are doing something so different around our finances. And we are going into those places from the past, those conversations that we couldn't get past, you know, and I would either give up and just you handle it, you know, those conversations. And we just both have this space to stay in the game. And we are both loving it. He and I are both, we're just like transforming. We really are becoming a better team, better partnership. So there's that. And then the other is things are coming to me. Opportunities are coming to me. So, you know, part of my story was I haven't coached or done anything on stage, and I don't know how long, since 2010. And I had a woman approach me. She goes, "Can I pay you to coach me?" And I was like, "Sure." And then somebody that I work with on my body, I worked with for a year. He's like, if you could work with people on their emotions, if, you know, you've gone through stuff that other people haven't, you know, it's not, you know, there's other stuff, there's other things to do. So I'm being approached, which is something I've always wanted to be, and been part of a team, but my story from before was I was always a onesie. I was the leader. I was going to make it happen. And now there's this different happening, which I really like.
Love that. It's magnetizing naturally life towards us when we come out of that contraction. I'm curious for you to share. I'd really be interested to know what you think is at stake right now. Like, why is it so important in general for us as women to step up, to step out with our gifts? Like, what's up for you in your worlds? Stella, what are you seeing in your body? I mean, you bring a powerful body of work to bear in the field of energy and consciousness and conscious evolution. But what are you seeing as the call right now for women, especially, to get visible with our message?
But what I'm seeing more and more, and I have this sense of urgency in the field, is that, you know, we can't stand on the sidelines anymore. We really, really can't, you know. I mean, I could talk all about this sort of like the energetics of the way that the divine feminine needs to open up certain areas so that the divine masculine can come in and all of that. But what it basically boils down to is that, you know, if every woman stepped forward to be the woman that she came here to be, the world would change overnight.
Amen.
It would literally change overnight.
Yes.
And so every time one of us step forward and take responsibility, and that's what it is, it's spiritual maturity and responsibility. to actually honor the gift of being here. I mean, the chances of being here at this time as the expression of the soul that all of the others have worked towards.
Mm-hmm.
We owe it to all of the other expressions of the soul, and we owe it to, to ourselves, because wow, we're so powerful, and I absolutely believe we can change the world, and quickly.
I get that. And yes, absolutely too. It's our sacred responsibility to own what we're here to do and do it, right?
Yeah. Well, I always say, get your big girl pants on.
You do.
But I do believe it is a sacred responsibility. If you're here, expression of the soul that all the others have worked towards. And by golly, they're watching. Let's get on with it.
Absolutely. 100%.
It's so great. I'm a big, believer. I'm a big community person. The power is in community, and I think inherently that is women. Mm-hmm. And even as I begin to think of working with people, I cannot work individually with people anymore, because I know that we're here to work as a collective. We're here to work as a community.
Yeah.
That momentum of expansion and transformation happens in community, and women just have this. For the most part, we have this place where we feel that inherently within us. Where, even though we've never been a mother, we have that within us, in that place where we want to take care of the collective and the whole. And now is the time for that. And I do believe it's because the millennials and the Gen Zs are ready. They came in ready, and they're waiting for us as the grandmothers, the mentors, like, as you say, Stella, the time is now. It is now. It's absolutely, and it's unfolding and quickening, and we all feel it. Yeah.
Yeah. Watch out next year.
Right. No, it's happening. It's okay if it's chaotic. That's how change happens.
That's good, actually. Yeah. That's
right.
Can I just quickly share something with you?
Yeah.
I just come back from Glastonbury. I did a workshop in Glastonbury. And one of the things that I got the women to do, or asked the women to do, was to sit in circle in different groups, and for one woman to talk about her dream, her aspirations for 2023, and for other women to feedback what they saw in her, so that they actually sat in circle and honoured who she was, and she had to be open to receive. Within 10 minutes of that exercise starting, it was meant to be a 20-minute exercise. It went on for an hour and a half, because the tears, the sharing, the connection, these safe spaces are so, so important for the community, the change that Janet's referring to, the way that once women sit together in community, once women start actually supporting each other rather than seeing each other as a threat, or, us feeling unsafe in another woman's company, my goodness me, such hope for the future. Really, such hope for the future.
And even as you say it, it feels so nurturing. And, I can feel myself in that circle with you, right?
Well, I can feel it internationally, because we have, Canadian, American, and UK, and we have other women in the group, and I felt that in the book. That feeling of internationally women connecting, that like you just feel the expansion of it within our bodies, because it's like, oh, this is so much bigger than all of us, but we're women, and we feel, and our hearts, expand, and we grow, and to do it collectively internationally is very powerful.
Absolutely.
I feel so honored and blessed to be with the two of you here. And as we go in this deep work, it was funny, because there's this sort of meme about the leaders should be, somehow distanced, the somehow guru-ish. And what we find as we go in the work, we become the opposite. We're family. We become connected. We're not, when I'm teaching, I hold a space of structure, and I will tell you what to do within the structure with lots of freedom, but no, we become family. And I really feel so, We're deeply honored. And I think that's part of the feminine gift going forward. It's less of this professional distance piece, right? And it's more of, yes, we can all be family. We can love each other. I can love my clients and the women in my community and the women who come in, and I can grow and be friends with those women, right? And that's and still hold a sacred and safe space. One thing I wanted to say is I think you're both so when, at the beginning of the program, when we do our videos and we kind of set our intentions, we can see that's because we can then see the change at the end. And you're both so dropped in and so feminine, but also so substantive. Janet, your voice is so changed completely. But I'd love you to share just like one thing you or anyone around you has noticed about your physicality or your soma, your voice or your body. Has anything shifted in your body? Because we work in the space of the soma. Janet, what's changed for you? Obviously, I just told everyone your voice has really shifted, but what else?
Well, everything continues to change in my body in a good way. Like my whole posture continues to change in my body. And I've had reflected back to me, I'm softer. I'm way more feminine. I'm like, my heart is even more open. That's what I've had reflected back to me.
Yeah. How about you, Stella?
Yeah, I think it's probably quite similar. It's more reflecting back that I don't know what the word is. What was the word that somebody actually used? I can't remember. But just sort of like, that one thing I always say to women is that this isn't the time to give our energy to another guru or our energy to another teacher. It's about time to learn to be sovereign and how to manage your own energy and, these sorts of things. And I was talking about this in this particular workshop, and somebody actually said, we can witness that in you. And although I had hoped that was always the case, for someone to actually say we can witness that in you. And also I know that my voice has dropped as well. I know that it's dropped. Yeah, definitely.
So we talk about voice because it belies the shapes, the traumas, the things that we're holding, and we don't even realize we're walking around in the world with our voice coming through those shapes. And then when we drop in, it's like, oh, and that is soothing and magnetizing, and also feels better for us. But it's just so neat to see it. So awesome to see it. Stella, what's your website?
StellaBrookes.com.
StellaBrookes.com. Okay, so we'll include that in the link to this.
K-E-S, right? Brooks?
K-E-S, Brooks with a K-E-S. Yes,
with a K.
Yeah.
Janet, do you also have a website?
JanetRae.com.
JanetRae.com.
RAE.com. That's pretty easy.
Oh, wow.
I will include your website links so people can check you out and get to know you in the comments section, in the description section under our video. But again, beautiful friends. I just love you so much. And actually, it's just a selfish reason to get back together with you. We'll see you telling your story on this Bold and Visible stage soon. And I really dearly appreciate how our community of graduates come back and, pay it forward, right? And share it forward. This is kind of what we're stepping into as women. We're helping each other. And I'm here to help you, by the way. Call on me. Anytime.